Hi all, there is a Google Doodle today of our second women's world chess champion, Lyudmila Rudenko. She's a very important person, not just in chess history, but also she saved a lot of children during the siege of Leningrad. That is what she regards herself. She regarded herself as her greatest achievement. So she organized a train to evacuate children from the siege of Leningrad. Let's have a look from a chess angle at one of her games against Rowena Bruce in a radio match in 1946. E4 from Lyudmila Rudenko. So we have the Caracan defense from Rowena Bruce. This variation, exchanging on d5, is very popular with often c4, the panel botvining attack, but this is another major alternative. Bishop d3. Knight c6, c3, knight f6, now h3, depriving the g4 square from black, and trying to encourage the bishop to actually be hemmed in the pawn chain, which happens now. Not only is the bishop hemmed in, but maybe this is an important square now, an outpost square on the semi-open file, the e5 square. Knight f3, bishop d6, white castles. White's position is very natural looking, very strong looking, with a small advantage here. Rook e1, black castles, knight e5. Now, if this is left, then maybe white can build up with f4. That knight is often a very good prelude to a kingside attack. Black took it, d takes, knight d7, and now a very aggressive and fine move, queen h5, not only supporting the pawn, but with aggressive intent against black's kingside as well. Black played here rook e8. There are alternatives like f6, and even with f6 though, there's good attacking potential in the variations here. For example, bishop takes h6, just to give some examples, is dangerous, like this, for example, checkmate. Or if that's ignored, where black takes a pawn in the center here with knight c takes e5, white can, it looks pretty awkward, but white can actually play stuff like bishop takes g7 rather spectacularly. For example, this is checkmate, and taking on d3 leads to this fantastic rook lift. So this shows that f6 is a really dangerous line. White can end up getting a big advantage. That wasn't played, so instead rook e8. We have now bishop takes h6 in any case, so there's still some major ideas of a rook left and crashing through against the black king. G takes, queen takes, threatening. If white had a move here, bishop h7 would be mating. I will just put this on the board to show you. Bishop h7 check, bishop g6 check is a standard mating pattern. So black with urgency defends the h7 square with knight f8 in this position. So knight f8 defending h7. But now this rook left is still very, very dangerous here. Black is tied up here. Knight e7, rook g6 check, knight f g6, and now the pressure is relentless. h4 trying to break down black's kingside. We have knight f5 trying to be resourceful in defense here. This is taken, e takes, and now Rudenko plays h5. So she's going to get her material back, or is she? It's pinned. The pawn is pinned now. So if hg, queen takes h6. However, white plays a very calm move here in the circumstance. Knight d2. Just aiming to kick the queen elegantly with knight f3. The king is not going anywhere. The knight being pinned is not going anywhere here. We have the move rook e6. Knight f3, hitting the queen. And now hg. So material balance is restored. And white, though, has a raging attack here. King f8 was played. King h8 is, you might think, is interesting as well, but it's still very dangerous. For example, like this. This line shows this is incredibly dangerous for black. So, for example, like this. The queen and knight can actually converge against the black king. There's some beautiful variations there. So we have actually the king opting to go to f8, And now knight g5, threatening knight h7 check, which would win the queen at least. Queen d7. But now there's a beautiful coordination of the queen and knight here after check. The king is forced onto a dark square, but now the pawn on e5 is very handy, as well as the knight. They're both covering that f6 square, making this possible, but now the beautiful queen f8 checkmate. So look at the impression of black's pieces, just passive here, looking on, spectator pieces. So a fine attacking game for Rudenko, from Rudenko. And thank you for Google Doodle today. So I may also look at some other games on the channel today as a special thanks to Google, and also of course awareness of her great achievements, not just on the chessboard but outside of that, saving children during the siege of Leningrad. Fantastic stuff. A fantastic person. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks so much.